Becoming Led Zeppelin, 2025, is an innovative music documentary that explores the origins, ascent, and enduring influence of one of rock history's most celebrated bands. With a rich array of rare footage, personal interviews, and dynamic performances, the film provides a comprehensive look at how Led Zeppelin came together, made an explosive entrance into the music scene, and transformed the landscape of rock and roll. The documentary opens by introducing the four iconic band members: Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, John Paul Jones, and John Bonham. Instead of jumping directly into their peak success, the film takes its time to illustrate the formative years of each member. It highlights Jimmy Page's early fascination with the guitar, showcasing his experiences as a studio musician during the 1960s, which paved the way for the band's ambitious sound. Page shares stories from his teenage years where he participated in skiffle bands before becoming a sought-after session guitarist for notable artists such as The Who and the Kinks. In tandem, Robert Plant's journey is portrayed, emphasizing his roots in the Midlands of England and his deep appreciation for blues, folk, and soul, which would ultimately shape his powerful vocal approach. Through a combination of archival materials and narrations, Plant discusses his aspiration to push vocal boundaries, merging American blues influences with an authentic British flair. John Paul Jones is depicted as the band's understated musical mastermind. His proficiency with multiple instruments and his skills in arrangement allowed him to craft the intricate layers of Led Zeppelin's music. The documentary gives special recognition to drummer John Bonham, whose intense playing style brought both energy and precision to the band. Friends and family members fondly recall Bonham's remarkable talent and charismatic presence. As the story progresses to 1968, it reveals Jimmy Page's quest for a new band following the Yardbirds' disbandment. Page envisioned a group that could meld blues, folk, hard rock, and mysticism. He recounts the process of auditioning singers, culminating in his selection of Robert Plant, who impressed him with both his voice and stage presence. Plant then suggested Bonham, and with John Paul Jones rounding out the ensemble, the classic lineup was established. Initially touring as the New Yardbirds, the band quickly rebranded to Led Zeppelin, a name proposed by The Who's drummer Keith Moon. The documentary picks up its pace, reflecting the band's rapid ascent, showcasing their self-titled debut album released in 1969, which combined heavy blues, folk, and psychedelia. Iconic tracks such as Dazed and Confused and Good Times Bad Times exemplified the band's raw, pioneering sound. The film offers an in-depth exploration of Led Zeppelin's electrifying live performances, showcasing extensive footage from early concerts that convey the palpable energy of their shows. Viewers experience the thrill of being front row at iconic venues, while band members reflect on the chaotic touring lifestyle, the excitement of improvisation, and the unique bond formed on stage. As the band's fame escalates, the documentary examines the creation of landmark albums. Led Zeppelin 2 is noted for its heavier sound and hits like Whole Lotta Love. In Led Zeppelin 3, their acoustic influences emerge, inspired by their time in the Welsh countryside. With Led Zeppelin 4 featuring the timeless classic Stairway to Heaven, the film illustrates how each album challenged artistic boundaries while navigating the dual forces of immense popularity and critical skepticism. Becoming Led Zeppelin distinguishes itself through its narrative structure. Rather than relying on typical talking head interviews, the film allows the band to tell their own story through voiceover, archival interviews, and personal journals. This approach creates a slower, more reflective tone during moments of introspection, focusing on the pressures of fame and their evolving musical aspirations. Robert Plant reflects on the emergence of mythical and spiritual themes in their work, while Jimmy Page discusses experimentation with unconventional time signatures and innovative recording techniques. The documentary's midsection highlights Led Zeppelin's global impact, featuring tour footage from the US, Japan, and Europe that illustrates how they became a cultural phenomenon. Their concerts, often without opening acts, attracted tens of thousands, reinforcing their identity as an album-centric band due to their decision to forego single releases in the UK. Initially dismissed by critics, their immense fanbase rendered them an unstoppable force. However, the film does not shy away from the darker aspects of their journey. The band's descent into the excesses of rock stardom, including rampant drugs, alcohol, and reckless behavior, took a significant toll on them. A profound tragedy strikes in 1977 with the death of Robert Plant's young son, which deeply impacts the band and brings their touring to a halt. This shift in tone marks a more somber period, casting doubt on the future of Led Zeppelin. Despite these challenges, they return in 1979 with In Through the Outdoor, showcasing a more experimental sound driven by synthesizers. Yet the band's hopes for continuity are shattered by the sudden death of drummer John Bonham in 1980. The film treats this pivotal moment with reverence as surviving members express their heartfelt reflections on Bonham as not just a drummer but as the emotional core of the band. His absence signifies the end of Led Zeppelin. The documentary Becoming Led Zeppelin concludes with an insightful epilogue that highlights the lasting legacy of the legendary band. It reflects on their brief reunions, most notably the iconic 2007 performance at London's O2 Arena, and discusses Led Zeppelin's significant and enduring influence on rock, metal, and various musical genres. Younger artists pay homage to them, while scholars elaborate on how their unique fusion of styles laid the groundwork for future generations of musicians. Visually stunning and emotionally impactful, Becoming Led Zeppelin transcends the typical documentary format. It stands as a tribute to the band as artistic innovators who revolutionized modern music. With exemplary storytelling and striking soundscapes, the film offers an intimate glimpse into the evolution of four musicians into legends. From the outset, the film immerses viewers in the historical context of its subjects, starting with a hypnotic guitar hum and black and white footage of pre-war Britain. As the narrator sets the stage by showcasing the post-war generation depicting bombed streets, schoolchildren, and the dawn of television, the tone is reflective, honoring the musical landscape that gave birth to one of rock's most celebrated bands. The narrative transitions into the vibrant atmosphere of early 1960s London, where a young Jimmy Page emerges already steeped in music. Through interviews and rare photographs, the film reveals his early career as a sought-after session guitarist, capturing the smoke-filled studios where Page crafted riffs for artists like the Kinks and Donovan. The story then shifts to the British Midlands, introducing Robert Plant, a wild-haired youth endowed with a commanding voice and a profound love for American blues. Archival audio accompanies visuals from countryside gigs and dingy pubs where Plant refined his singing prowess. Meanwhile, John Paul Jones shares insights from his upbringing as the son of musicians, highlighting his experience as an accomplished arranger and multi-instrumentalist. In juxtaposition, explosive footage of John Bonham showcases his dynamic drumming style, embodiment of raw energy and fierce loyalty, providing deeper context about his character. The narrative converges as Jimmy Page, after the disbandment of the Yardbirds, sets out to form a new band and first encounters Plant. Their instant musical chemistry is palpable, with Plant's recommendations leading to the inclusion of Bonham and Jones, solidifying the lineup. These recollections are enhanced by early rehearsal clips emphasizing the creative fire and tension that defined the band's beginnings. Through its engaging storytelling, Becoming Led Zeppelin captures the essence of an extraordinary journey into the world of rock music. Folk traditions. This period of creativity leads to the release of songs like Immigrant Song and Gallows Pole, which showcase their evolving sound. The film artfully contrasts the raw energy of their earlier work with the maturity found in these tracks, highlighting their multifaceted musical identity. The narrative flows into Led Zeppelin IV, perhaps their most iconic album. The film captures the mystique of its creation, characterized by secretive recording sessions at Headley Grange. The landmark track Stairway to Heaven emerges emblematic of the band's artistry and depth, elevating them to an almost mythical status among fans. The documentary underscores how the lore surrounding the album and its enigmatic symbols contributed to the band's legendary image, widening their appeal exponentially. As the timeline advances, the film delves into the darker side of fame. The pressures and excesses of the rock lifestyle take a toll. Backstage dramas, personal struggles, and the impact of fame on their relationships are revealed through interviews with those close to the band. Yet the camaraderie among the members, particularly between Page, Plant, and Bonham, is palpable. The documentary captures moments of levity and joy amid the chaos, serving as a reminder of their unbreakable bond. The final segment centers on the tragic loss of John Bonham in 1980, which marked the end of an era for Led Zeppelin. The emotional weight of this loss resonates throughout the film as friends, family, and collaborators reflect on his profound influence on the band's sound and legacy. The documentary closes with poignant reminders of the band's enduring impact on rock music as it examines their legacy through the lens of contemporary artists who cite them as inspirations. In summary, this documentary offers an intricate portrait of Led Zeppelin's journey from their humble beginnings to becoming rock legends. Through a mix of archival footage, audio from concerts, and interviews, it effectively captures the essence of a band that forever changed the musical landscape, leaving behind a legacy that continues to resonate with generations of fans. With its blend of excitement, innovation, and introspection, the film serves as a fitting homage to a group that not only defined an era but also redefined what it meant to be a rock band. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.